Welcome to a special episode of Downtown Now. I'm Dana Schlagenhaft, and you'll see my partner Aaron Nolan in just a second. Let me give you a little backstory first about this episode. Back in March, Mayor Stephanie Orman asked Aaron and I to host the 2023 Bentonville State of the City. We did so at the Community Center in Bentonville in front of around 200 people, but we filmed it so you could have access to see everything about your city as well. So without further ado, check out the 2023 Bentonville State of the City. Good evening. How is everyone this evening? We're good? Well, I'm Dana Schlagenhaft. Thanks for joining us.
And I am Aaron Nolan, and we're with Downtown Bentonville Incorporated. And tonight we're gathered for a celebration of community. I'm a transplant in Bentonville, so I can first and foremost thank you guys for allowing this community to continue to be built day after day and year after year. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at Bentonville's past, present, and of course our future, as we commemorate, which is a very special anniversary, the
150th.
That's the one, 150 years celebrating our city.
Our path to becoming a city began in 1873 when residents filed a petition with Benton County to incorporate as the town of Bentonville. Who would have thought 150 years ago that a city in the top corner of Arkansas would become what it is today? Tonight, as we acknowledge Bentonville's 150th anniversary, we look back at where we were, where we are, and where we're going.
The state of our city is strong. The state of our city is vibrant, thanks to the visionaries, many of you are in this room, who saw, planned, and built the foundation for all of us, for what we know today. Today, we are celebrating the new Bentonville History Museum and its dedication to conserving and serving our history. Today, Bentonville ranks as the mountain biking capital of the world, home to award-winning trails throughout all 4 seasons of the year.
Today, we're the home of the world's first bikeable building and the U.S. National Mountain Bike Team. Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art is expanding, adding additional galleries, educational facilities, and unique gathering spaces.
Today, work is underway on the new Walmart home office, a campus across 350 acres, integrated into the community, designed to be an inclusive and seamless part of the natural beauty of our region.
Today, Thaden Field is making aviation accessible to all in our community, and the Up Summit gives families a glimpse of the future of movement. Today, our park system is growing with new innovative third spaces on the horizon, and we've added a very special, very beloved addition to our park system thanks to the Bogle family, and we'll talk about that a little later.
Today, farmers markets, First Fridays, Bentonville Together, Bike Fest, format, lighting of the square, and one absolutely ginormous Christmas parade. I think there's a partridge in a pear tree coming, folks. It kept us together, and it kept us celebrating as a community.
The strong state of our city wouldn't be possible without the dedication of our mayor, Stephanie Orman. Good to see you here today. And the professional team of individuals focused on meeting the needs of those who live, work, and play in Bentonville.
And Mayor Orman has built a fantastic team. Let's talk about the city that is a team here in Bentonville. 619 full-time employees, 143 part-time employees. This team remains dedicated to exceeding expectation when it comes to return on taxpayers' investment in our city government. Although you may not hear directly about each team tonight, our city could not function without each and every one of you. Now, among those is U.S. Senator John Boozman. Senator Boozman, thank you so much for being here. And recently, Senator Boozman recognized the 150th anniversary of our city in the congressional record.
Now, this is the official document of the Senate and House of Representatives. If you'll please welcome Senator John Boozman and Mayor Stephanie Orman up to the stage.
congratulations to you. Congratulations, Mayor. Like I say, nobody does it better than you. And because of your hard work and a lot of dedication, we've had tremendous growth. But it didn't just happen. It happened because of your hard work. So congratulations. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 150 years.
Senator Bozeman. So we've been talking a lot about past, present, and future, and I want to take you on a trip down memory lane. It was June of 1976 when Bentonville native Steve Marquis became mayor. The story I'm about to show you, though, is not about the mayor, but rather a volunteer servant who climbed up pretty high and painted something that I promise you, each and every one of you look up to today. Check it out.
Inside a growing and thriving city, it's normal to see construction, traffic, and plenty of change. But in Bentonville, Arkansas, there's at least one constant. A beacon high in the sky, one that nearly 50 years ago was in need of a refresh. In fact, there's the water tower from back in 1975, but let me prove my point further. Let's flip the pages of the Benton County Democrat from August 20th of 75.
My design was chosen. I was the only bidder.
What'd you bid?
$600. I made up that number.
Say hello to Bentonville native Steve Marquis. Steve had an idea. He put it on paper and topped 55 other submissions to win the chance to update this icon.
Well, what kind of collateral have you got you could put up? So, well, I've got a 51 GMC pickup and a bicycle. He said, oh, hell, just go do it.
Now the job was his. His first move, head to a local hardware store on the square.
I ordered 4 gallons of blue paint and 2 gallons of red paint.
Armed with 6 gallons of paint and a 6-foot stepladder, Marquis was ready to climb and start changing history, one painted letter at a time.
I went up there every other day. I went up 8 days, every other day, so it took 2 weeks. And I would take, lunch and a book to read while I took a break or whatever.
Would you stay up there?
Stayed up all day. It was interesting being up there. You weren't really in communication with anybody. Yeah. Every once in a while a car would honk or something.
50 years ago, a man destined to be mayor made his mark for the city he loved. And he did all of this without even knowing. The time he spent painting with a bird's eye view would leave a lasting impact still felt today.
I'd say if you haven't got anything to do, there's always something you can do. You can get involved in all kinds of things, meet all kinds of people, even though you haven't got anything much to do.
Please welcome to the stage Bentonville Mayor from 1976 to 1979, Steve Marquis. We also want to welcome 2 other former mayors of our city. Terry Coberly, Bentonville Mayor from 95 to 06. And Bob McCaslin, Bentonville Mayor from 2007 to 2018.
Good to see you guys here. We're going to talk a little bit about your time and your administration, your time as mayor. Let's just go down the line and talk about key milestones during your administration.
We struggled a lot. I want the mayor and the other city officials and a lot of you out there that know about these things. Can you imagine running the city today without sales tax? The cities didn't get sales tax. The counties didn't get sales tax back then. So buildings like this, we didn't even think about anything like that.
So I ran and was elected in 1995 and served for 12 years. And so if I had to pick one thing to highlight, I think it was we were able to restore confidence in city government.
I came into office in 2007, and I will play on something that Mayor Coberly said. I did inherit a tremendous staff, and that was the strong point. And 2007 was a milestone because we did go to the voters. First, council blessed it, and then we went to the voters in August and asked them to approve a bond issuance for capital improvement, and that was the first one. Basically, it would be a pile of capital to work out of, and you're setting in one of the products of that election because the voters approved that, I believe about 73%, and we began issuing bonds. The first real project that we had was the renovation of the downtown square, which included Northwest 2nd Street, East Central out to J Street. Just transformed what was already a beautiful square into a more beautiful gathering place. The community center was part of that. Early on, we kind of take it for granted today, but if you use 28th Street, and almost everyone here does at some point in time, we partnered with what was then Mayor Womack to look at the Olive Street, 28th Street Bridge. And it was just a choke point for getting between Rogers and Bentonville. And we partnered 50-50, worked with the highway department and made 28th Street and Olive Street that you see today a more digestible experience when you go through there.
Thank you, all three of you, for making this city what it is now, and all of your hard work and your administration's hard work. We're very lucky to have had you in this city. And
One more time, guys.
Give them a round
Mayor
of applause.
McCaslin, Mayor Cogley, and Mayor Martins. Once again, thanks to these guys, and again, I'm a guy that sometimes goes off the scripts that Dana wrote for me, and I get in trouble for this.
I stick on the script.
You do.
I don't waver.
But everything that they just talked about, I instantly started to think about my 7 and almost 9-year-old. It's because of the foundation that was put down that we are where we are today.
There is more 2023 Bentonville State of the City coming up. We'll catch you after this break.
The sun is 93 million miles away. The least we can do is give it a warm welcome each morning.
Welcome back to this special episode of Downtown Now. Of course, you're watching the Bentonville State of the City, and up next is our Downtown Conversation.
And right now, let's bring up our current mayor, Mayor Stephanie Orman. What would you say is your #1 accomplishment so far?
Well, I have to say that I inherited a great staff. So they're back there in the back. So stand up again. You got to give them a round of applause. So came into office in 2019 and 2020, the pandemic hit. So, but I can't tell you the can-do attitude that you see in this city. We didn't have a playbook for a pandemic, but we every day came in the door and served the citizens. We got through that. Coming out of the pandemic, we went to the public to extend our bond. And the public supported us on that. And I can say that that was some of our previous mayors, some advice that I'd been given to make sure we had the funding to be able to produce the capital projects that we need to in the city for the growth. So thank you to Mayor McCaslin and others that were helpful in those conversations. But we did that, went to the public, and they supported us coming out of the pandemic. And so we now have a website, bentonvillebond.com, and you can see all the projects that we're producing. And so we are, we like to say we try to exceed the taxpayers' expectations, and that's what we're doing every day with a can-do attitude. And great community partners and a great community.
I would say every person in this room agrees that this is a special city. What do you think makes Bentonville unique?
So we like to say we're uniquely Bentonville. We're not trying to be any other city. We do look at other cities and see what's happening in them, but again, it goes back to the community. We want to see businesses be successful. We want to see our people be successful, and that all comes back to that can-do attitude. If you want to find a way to to run a business, to grow the community, to be engaged in the community. We want you to be engaged in the city of Bentonville, and I really think that sort of attitude and that community sense is really what drives everything you see happening in Bentonville.
Aaron, do you want to show us that calendar
Well,
you've
so
been eyeing over there?
The mayor was up here earlier today, and I asked about this very cool calendar, and I've been waiting to get one. Guess what, Mayor? I got one. I got me one of these calendars. I don't know why I have this or what it's for. Please tell us a little bit about why we have this calendar and some of the amazing pictures that are inside of it.
Sure. So this is our commemorative calendar. So we are celebrating our 150 years here in the city of Bentonville. I'm not going to try to say the actual name either. You'll have me on camera saying it wrong. So, but we went to the public and asked for them to submit art and pictures, and so you're seeing those in this calendar.
Well, I'm seeing them. They're not.
Turn it around.
That's true.
I don't want them to see it. It took me a long time, Dana, to get
Well,
this.
just so everyone
Yes,
knows,
ma'am.
we have
Yes,
great
ma'am.
printers, Morpho Printing, and they have set up a website. So if you would like to get your own commemorative calendar, you can go to that website and for $15 purchase your own calendar.
Now I really am Ed McMahon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You are correct, sir. No?
No.
Nobody?
If you didn't check out, there was an article in AY Magazine last month talking about our 150th anniversary, and you had a quote, and I want to read it. And it's about your vision for Bentonville in the next few years. We're focused on being a complete city, infrastructure, sustainable growth, connectivity, and community partners. I just want you to expand on the quote. What is your vision for the future of Bentonville?
Well, again, I think it's being a city that really tries to strive to do their very best at everything. And so that does mean infrastructure. That means jobs, economic development. That means a sense of community, a sense of welcomeness, a sense of we want you to be here. We want you to be successful in our community. So it takes all of those ingredients to make a great city. And again, going back to our people here, they're the ones that are really driving that.
Thanks for watching, and there will be much more State of the City coming up after this break.
The sun is 93 million miles away. The least we can do is give it a warm welcome each morning.
Welcome back to a special episode of Downtown Now. Here's more of our State of the City from the Bentonville Community Center.
You know, it is the contributions of so many in this room that really have made Bentonville what it is today. We want to recognize another family that has impacted our community and really the entire region in a number of ways through their contributions in time.
There's a number of highlights we could cover tonight from the generosity of the Bob and Marilyn Bogle family, but we're going to pick one to tell you about. It's one of my favorites. Many have been there. Have you had prom pictures taken at Bogle Park? I have. They're great. As the Bogles maintained and opened a beautiful garden for the community, the Bogle Park and Garden was donated to our city and the Bentonville Parks Department earlier this year with an endowment for maintenance by the city, and it will leave a lasting legacy for our community.
Would the Bogle family please join us on stage with Mayor Orman? You're about to get the key to the city. Welcome Bogle family members Bob and Becky Alexander, Ann and Jim McKenzie, Sam and Larissa McKenzie, and Marshall McKenzie. Recently, I had the chance around the tulips that David was just talking about, and I went to talk to kids about what makes this city great. What's your name?
Lily.
Lily, why do you like Bentonville so much?
That all the schools and the parks are very pretty, and I like how they make it clean and things.
Grace, what's your favorite thing about Bentonville?
That you can go mountain biking?
Anytime you want?
Yes.
The
Nico, what's your favorite thing about Bentonville?
I also go to Ari Baker Elementary, and I love how the teachers are so welcoming. And another thing I like about Bentonville is that they're like building new places, probably a new park, and you know, it's just a lot of fun for kids.
Okay, what's your name?
Bronwyn.
And what's your favorite thing about Bentonville? Be detailed.
The dogs,
Simply the dogs in Bentonville. Why?
because they're cute.
Why do you like Bentonville so much?
It's a very like friendly environment. Like a lot of people can just like hang around like with like their friends and like just like it's a very like friendly environment, especially like with family and stuff. So.
And the Sport Cafe is good.
Bentonville's pretty special, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. It's a very fun place to be at.
Thanks for watching, but that's not it for Bentonville State of the City. There is a part 2, episode 2, that you can catch next Sunday right here at 10:30 a.m. on KFSM. We'll see you then.
The sun is 93 million miles away. The least we can do is give it a warm welcome each morning.